Hi, I'm David Penn, Research Analyst with Finovate. We're here at FinovateEurope 2023 in London, England. With me today is Jurgen Vandenbroucke. He is the Managing Director of everyoneINVESTED with KBC Group. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes, I thought maybe we could start off with you telling us a little bit about everyoneINVESTED. We were talking just a moment ago how it's sort of an interesting variation on the general idea of spin-offs. Could you talk a little bit about the company?
Yes, well, I've personally been with KBC Group for now 25 years. Always working in the intersection of innovation and investments. And my previous role was heading the innovation team of KBC Asset Management, where we helped the bank to generate basically more fee business, just sell more investments through their mobile app. And we did to such success that a few years ago we pitched to the senior management the idea of putting this in a separate company and helping literally get everyone invested by smart copying our technology to other banks. So that's what we have been doing since 2020 as a company, everyoneINVESTED, still owned by the bank, but acting in all independence. We are operating out of the public cloud and we are smart copying to other banks to get, well, everyone invested. That's basically our mission.
Yeah, very, very interesting. You were talking about how often it's the case that the bank goes out and gets the fintech and brings the fintech in, and how this is a reversal where the fintech sort of leaves the bank, not 100% leaves the bank, but sort of emerges for the bank to go out on its own. What are some of the advantages of being out on your own, sort of out from under the shadow of KBC in that respect?
Well, I think the big advantage and the big differentiator with respect to other fintechs is that we can openly share the KPIs and the proven business impact of what we do. I mean, the things that have failed at KBC, we're not going to put them to the market. So unlike another fintech, sometimes it's not about selling a dream of what we think might work. No, we have been able to develop and test all these technologies in the, well, comfortable setting of a conventional bank, and now only bring the winners to the market.
Yeah, very interesting. Talking about the market, quite a bit of competition in the fintech space. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about was the idea of partnerships and the role that they play. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, at everyoneINVESTED, the team is still literally the people that were in this innovation team for more than a decade. So we know each other very well, we are very complementary, but we're also very small. I mean, we've deliberately keep on focusing on the IP, on the business content, mastering the regulatory requirement like MiFID and customer duty, and we partner with other companies that bring complementary skills that we lack. For example, the development, the maintenance, the hosting of our cloud platform, that is done in partnership. We also have partnerships with other companies that bring us introductions that broaden our scope. For example, we have one solution on micro-investing, which we co-created together with MasterCard. And now, together with MasterCard, we bring this to the market and they expose us to their network. So that's the kind of things we do. Partnering, yes, in order to bring complementary expertise and to broaden our network and our reach, basically.
Excellent. Partnership has been a big theme with a number of the conversations I've been fortunate enough to have today here at FinovateEurope. Could you talk from your perspective, what is it that makes for a truly successful partnership?
Well, as with anything in life, also in fintech, I think it has to be a win-win. So what does that mean? Like I said, we have to, as partners, be into the collaboration with an idea, okay, we will add both something to our offering, to our skill set, and so on. And ultimately, with the banks that we collaborate with, you can either call them clients or you can also look at them as partners, because they should be, like ourselves, into this for broadening their investor base, acquiring more investors through their digital distribution channels. So that's the win-win that you should have there. I mean, ultimately, bottom line, strategic alignment.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say, one of the things I find interesting about partnerships is often they bring together companies that you say are able to find at least what they believe will be a win-win outcome for the two, but often the companies themselves can be different in terms of their own cultures, their type of leadership, but also importantly the different sorts of regulatory structures that they may have to exist under. How do you sort of marry some of those things where the regulatory side for one company might be very different from the other? How do you manage that?
Well, everything you do in the space of investments, like what we operate in, that's very much regulatory burdened. I mean, the advisory, the MiFID in Europe, or IDD for insurance, or in UK you have customer duty. Those are all intended to be, to ensure that the digital process, if there's no advisor assistance, that it adds to investor protection, that you don't give just easy access to the wildest trading platform, so to speak. So there, the regulatory guidance is something that actually has helped us as everyone invested, because again, our experience of the many years has been to talk in the language and with the vocabulary to risk, legal and compliance teams in getting this passed through their internal approval processes. So that's actually one of the criteria where our partners select us on, because we are just much more than a technology company. We have roots in the business, which means also in the regulatory requirements for the processes that we make.
Very interesting. I'm just curious, just by way of wrapping up, what are some of the things that folks who are paying attention to Everyone Invested might be able to look forward to over, say, the balance of this year or maybe even into next year?
Well, we have we have been starting up in 2020, so 3 years ago, and initially our go-to-market strategy was to smart copy to other banks what we have deployed successfully at KBC. We have been broadening that strategy now. Now we are also more and more addressing wealth managers, asset managers that service direct clients themselves. More and more they want to do that also in a digital way. So that's something that we have been working on. We have some announcements coming out soon on partnerships, particularly in that area. And the next step is that we also are having some European ambitions for some of the tooling we have. For example, in support of initiatives like the one that since a few years the European Commission, for example, have what they are called their retail investment strategy. And it's all about empowering the retail investors in order to provide them with tools that lower and ease the access to investment services, increase comparability, that provides them tools based on new technologies to support conscious investment decisions. So that kind of mindset is exactly what Everyone Invested is all about. So we have been working on some projects that align with this, let's say, regulatory guidance in a way that would give us a European scale.
Very interesting, very interesting. Well, definitely something we're all going to be looking forward to in the months and years to come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you as much as well.